Hi and welcome to another live stream with me, Daniel Hindrikes. Today we will continue to work with the backend for the mobile app that we use to build in the other streams. But last time we started with the backend using some CosmosDB stuff, and we also started building a search indexer. And that is the thing we should continue with today. If you're watching this stream for the first time, during this stream I'm working with building a mobile app mostly. It's an ecom app that can browse products. You should be able to search for products later and add to cart. It's also something that we have built, and we're building the mobile app using Blazor and Blazor mobile binding. That is basically Xamarin Forms with Blazor syntax. So that is what we normally do, but because we need some data to work with there, I also started to build a backend, and that is what we should continue with today. So let's dive into Visual Studio here to see what we did last time. Here we have my instance of Visual Studio. So I set up a functions project. We also have a product importer that we used last time to upload product data from a JSON file that I had on disk. So this is just a console app, but that is something we probably not should use ever again, but we use that to upload products. And now when we have them in the database, we don't have to do that anymore, but this is just some code to upload it to CosmosDB, and all this code is also available on GitHub together with all the code that I write during those streams. So if you're interested to see what we have done earlier, you can go to GitHub and you will find all the code on my profile. So we should continue with this product indexer. We have a function here. Really don't know why I named it function, but we can change that later. But what we did, we struggled with to get link working with CustomDB. Well, not CustomDB, CosmosDB. But what we needed to do to use link is to import this namespace as well, Microsoft Azure.cosmos.link. So there is where we should continue today. So we can remove this SQL query. We don't need that. So this function should get all products from the Cosmos database and add them to a search index. So we can rename the function already now to rebuild search index. Index. So give the function the same name as the class. So we have installed the NuGet package for CosmosDB and for Azure Search. That is Microsoft Azure.cosmos and Microsoft Azure.search. And we have added some values to my local settings JSON to connect to them, and this will not be part of the code that is pushed to the repository. So if you want to run this code, you need to go to the Azure portal and create your own resources. So I have created some Cosmos clients. We have also a search client. Now we will iterate through all the products and add them to the search and index. So we have a collection for a container for collection and one for products. But if we take a look at the index model that we also created last time, we need some product information and we also need some collection information, and those information are in different databases. So that's the reason why we need to fetch both collections and products. If we want here, we can also add some attribute, or I think we need to add some attribute actually. For example, we can add index I don't really know the name of the attribute, but it tells us that it should be part of. But we have one that is retrievable. So I think we have a similar name for is. We have okay, here we have all of them. Is filterable, is sortable, is searchable. Okay, so it's indexing on all the properties we give them. So is searchable for ID? No, we don't need to. Yes, we maybe want to search for ID as well. So ID should be sortable and retrievable. Okay, we need to, yes, true. Like this. Title should also be not sortable, searchable. Is searchable. Title should be both searchable and retrievable. And the same for body. But collection names should not be retrievable, I think, because it will use them just to build a search index. We can get get categories when we're fetching the real product later. Okay, so we could go back here to the function, and we can start to iterate through this. Iterator dot has more results, so let's put a while around that. Has more results, because we don't seem that we get this as async thing to work that we also tried to do last time. But we should not, of course we should iterate through all collection first, because we need to fetch all the products. And if we want, we can add some where here also if we want to filter, but in this case we want all collections. We can put a list or variable collection is new list of collection. Then we need to call iterator dot read next async await or response. Then we can add collection dot add, and then we can use response dot or feed response dot response probably. No, in this case it was, I don't get why we get a collection of it, because if we take a look at the okay, that's true. They got a collection here. There was another example I read before where they did another way, but okay, response is, then we need to do for each there too. For each or collection in response.resource. Just double check if that was the way they did. Okay, you can do like that too. That's probably more good. Looks better, more readable. A few lines of code. Collections, should we name the list and collection here? So collections dot add collection. Okay, now we have all the collections here, so we should be able to add that data to the product when we're fetching the product. So see, we have already products container here, so let's go and fetch the products. So we can do a product iterator. Product iterator is product container dot container, because this is a container response, so it had probably be a better name for it. Product container response. We rename it to make it more clear. Then get item link curable, and we don't need to filter it, so just to feed iterator. this. Of course, we need to specify a type. Product. I think we use product item. Let's check, because we already had a product model before. And we did some changes to it. Yes, product item is the one that we should use now. Okay, so let's go back here and do the same here. While product iterator has more results. For each product in await product iterator dot read next async. And instead of fetching all products into a list and then add them to the index as a batch, we can add them to the index one by one here. Search client. Of course, we need to create an index model first. Or index model, new product index model. Okay, we need body, and we take that from product, like this. Product.body, of course. We want ID, product.id, title, product.title. Then we have this collection names. So if we have more than one collection, we want to add them as a string, just to make the search engine to be able to index them. So we can do like this. Collections is product dot collection ID. That's dot choose string. No, not dot select. To x dot choose string. Because I think no, let's do like this instead. Collections. We should fetch them from the list collection. Let's just name it items for now. Dot where x. And then we have product dot collection ID dot contains x dot, and let's see if that is a long here too. No, that's a string, and that's why we need to make this to a list of strings as we did first. IDs is product dot collection ID dot select x dot to string. So now we instead have a list of strings. IDs contains product. If IDs, okay, it will be like this. Then we will have all items, all collections, items, but we only want the names in this case. So select x dot title. Okay, collection name is string dot join. We want to separate them by a space, and then we put it in like this. Okay, now we have created an index model. Now we can call the index method. So we have the search client that we created here. So search client dot in dot get in. Let's see how with indexes. let's double check how to do that. Azure Search in Search Client to create index. Think there should be a method to get the index or create it. Create. Let me double check again. Create an index. Okay, let's see here. If this is by code or shows a client. Just a sample. Yeah, here we have the attributes that we set to the model. But no C# examples here. Of course, we can go to the other one, but I have some code here that I have created before on my other screen, so I can check that one instead. So we have indexes dot create or update. Let's see what create or update are doing. New index. Then we can give it a name, products. Instance, a new instance of index class. There are no, okay, they should be. Let's see what it needed. Maybe it just. I can do like this instead. Do index, and we do name is products. Then it needs to know what fields it should have. I need a comma there. Fields is, then we can use field builder dot build for type, and then we can specify our product index model. We can like this. We can also check if it exists before instead. If search client dot indexes dot exists products. If it's not exists, then we create it. Then we can do like this, but we should do that outside of the loop, of course. We don't need to do that for every product. Index client is search client dot indexes dot get client. Then we specify the name again, like this. And now we can take the index client and use the okay. Should be I thought we should have an index method here. Search credential. Okay. Okay. Index client dot documents dot index. I can do an async call to that, and then we can just specify our index model. Let's see. Okay, they want the index batch. Okay, so let's create an index batch. Index batch new. Then we have, okay, we should move this outside of the loop anyway, because it was possible to batch. Then I think it this is not more product than that we can do it in one batch. So let's try that. Index models, new product index model. Like this. Then we can index models dot add. Okay, now we just need to specify index models here. Then we can await it. Okay, we need to have a type. Okay, what's the problem? Cannot convert as a general list to I enumerable. Okay, in index action. Okay, but what is an index action then? Just wait a minute, I will check. Let's take a look at this sample they linked to here. See how they did it. .NET example. Oops. Here, create or update definition, upload document. Okay, index document actions, not upload. Okay, let's try if that is index action dot upload. Okay, let's do a list of index action instead. If that is possible. Statics types cannot be used as type arguments. Okay. Index action of T in. Okay. Then we can do like this. Index action dot upload index model. Let's see where we were. Index models. Yes, now we are home with this. I can remove this code, and then we can try to see if we can run the function locally here. This is a HTTP trigger, so we should be able to just trigger it locally. Start a project. Try to run it. We can also set, or maybe we don't need to set a breakpoint, but we can make sure that we have this if we have an exception, so it will catch it so we can see what happens. Yes, just waiting for it to build. Yes. Function runtime is starting. And we should get an HTTP endpoint that we can call here soon. Yes, here it is. So if you go here, okay, let's set the breakpoint just to see that we hit the function. Go to the Edge browser, then we call it. Okay. Yes, and here we is. Let's step through it, see what happened. Yes, we get the keys. Maybe we will have problem with the Cosmos database because there could be firewall settings that we need to set. Partition doesn't much existing container partition key. Okay, then we need to change that. Like this. Then we try to run it again. Let's wait for a runtime to start again. Yes, now we can go and run it. Okay, let's try to step through it again. The request partition key does not match existing container products with partition key path. It looks like I misspelled it when I created it. Okay, that's fine. Yes, let's change. I wonder if that is, oops. Now I copied too much part. But I wonder if I did the same mistake for the collections container. Let's assume that. Let's move the breakpoint to here where we had the problem. Yes, the runtime is ready. Let's retrigger it. Okay, waiting for get database. Now we step through that. Okay, it worked now. Create a search client. Get the collections. Let's see if this works. Looks like that. Yes, then we don't need to step through all, so we can continue to the next step and see that we now have 52 collections. Okay, let's go through and create the search index. If it doesn't exist, and it should not exist because it's the first time we run this. Okay, we cannot have uppercase letters in a search index name, so let's change that. Maybe we also should do like this to make the code a little bit cleaner. Private const, not container, const string search in the index name is products. So we don't have to change on all places if we want to change it, and there are no risk for me to misspell it. Okay, so let's try again. Then we can set the first breakpoint here on row 55 instead and remove that one because we know that this code is working now. Waiting for the runtime to start again. Okay, it's ready. Just to wait for the collections to be fetched. Yes, here we are. Let's see if we can do the request to the search indexer now, and if it's success. Yes, we don't have any index with that name. So let's see if we can create one. No, the request is invalid. Show details. Let's see if we... Okay. Okay, let's see what's wrong. HTTP request is invalid. Is bad request, so something is wrong, but what is wrong is another question. Bad request. Do we have any content here? Cloud error. Okay. Operation not allowed. Compound keys not supported. Okay, maybe we need to specify some more attributes then. Let's go here and check the sample. What they had done. Hotel.cs okay, they has a is key search field. Simple field, search field. Okay, but I think we should be able to just specify them as I did. But we need to, we can try to set the field. Not the field, the key, I mean, sorry. So, use the ID field, system data annotations like this. Okay, let's try to run this again. Okay. This time we can keep this example open in case if we need to get back to it. So let's wait for the debugger to hit the breakpoint. Here is the class. Okay, now we're here. This worked last time. Let's see if the create method also works now. Yes, it did. Okay. So let's get the index client. Now we should loop through all products. We can step through the first product just to see that it works. Yes, it seems like that. The index model, just verify that collection name was joined. Yes. All data I have here is in Swedish. I know a friend that has a small web shop, and I asked him if I can use his products, and he said yes. So it's product data from him. Okay, let's set the breakpoint here. We don't need to step through all the products. Now we have 218 in products here. So let's see if that is too big to batch it, but I think it should work. Set the breakpoint there so we know when it's done. Probably will take a while, so we can go to the Azure portal here to see how it looks there. So in our search, we can see indexes here. So we now we have a products index, but we don't have any documents in it yet, because that is what we're working with right now. But when we have it, we should be able to test doing some queries here. So that is what we should do when this one is ready. and hopefully it will not fail, because then we need to rerun it and it can take some time again. Can go back here just to see if we have any documents added. Not yet. So we can probably not search. Yes, we could. Okay, there are some things added to it here, because we can see the products. Those products probably don't have a body on them. And the reason that you can see any collection names is because it's not retrievable. So let's try to search, for example, for you can search for ABU, that is a well-known manufacturer of a fishing tackle. We can see that we get results where title contains ABU. Okay, so now we have a working search index. It's probably not all products in it yet, because this method is still working, I think. Or if it was so fast that it completed before I added the breakpoint, but I don't think so. So let's wait a bit more. This is probably cached values, so we cannot see that yet. But when we're waiting, we maybe can create another function. I think we can do that when this is running. So let's do that. And this function should update the index when new products are added to it. So add function. Then we will have a Cosmos database trigger. That is, you can call it update product index, connection string name, database name, collection name. We can so collection name is products. And I think a database name also is products. Yes, it is products, like this. And then we need a name of the connection string, and that is CosmosDB connection, like this. And now we have a function that will trigger every time there are changes made in the Cosmos database. Okay, there are some issues. Maybe need to restore some packages or something. Probably Visual Studio freezes now, because I have had some problem with this happened. And when it's happened, it will not release it. So I need to restart it, but we can wait a few seconds at least. We can check the Azure portal when we're waiting if we have any document count yet. No document count. So probably that is running as well. So now we need to cancel that too. But what should we do when Visual Studio don't want to play with us? Let's see, we're here on my other screen. Visual Studio started, so I will just bring it to the main display now. Okay, but at least we have enough products to work with here. Well, there are a few of them. I don't know. I think okay, top 10. Is the default query. So I think we can maybe continue to work with that, and then we can wait for document count to be updated to see if we need to recreate the index or not. So I think instead of having this in the function, we can create a new class so we can reuse some of this code between those functions, because the new function should also have the same code mostly have the same code. So let's do a new class. Call it product indexer. Then we can have a method called public async task. We don't want to return anything from it. Index, and we have an IEnumerable of products into it. That product item. And we also need the collections. Like this. So now we can go here to the function, the rebuild search index function. We can copy this code into the product indexer. Maybe we can have them side by side instead, so we don't have to navigate between them. We need to have the using to Microsoft Azure Search. We need to have the search instance name, and we need a search key and no, that's the properties we need. So just copy them over as well, like this. Maybe we can move the fetch of collections too, so we don't need to have that inside of here, because we need to do that in every time we are hitting this. So we need the Cosmos client and the Cosmos database. We can have that first, but we still need it inside of here for be able to fetch the products. But we don't need this code for collection inside here, so that can be moved here. Then we also need the connection string to Cosmos. Copy that over here. Yes. We can move this code. Search index name. Then we can move the constant as well. Connection string. Okay, I copied the same code line twice. We should have connection string here instead. Now, get rid of that error. Collections. Okay, then we can remove it from here. We need to add the namespace for Cosmos link. If it not exists, we will create the index. We can also do like this. We can add a recreate argument. Recreate is false, but if it's by default, but if we set it true, as we should do from this, we will remove the index first and recreate it again. If recreate search client dot indexes dot delete search index name, like this. So index client Okay, we have the products here, what we are doing inside of that. Okay, we can do like this instead. We can have a product index models as input here instead. No, that means that we need to fetch the collections outside of this method, and we don't want that. So let's add a for each loop here. For each product in product in products. Then we copy this code, or we can move it. We also need that line to create the list for the for each loop. We need to import a namespace system link. Then we need that method here as well. And we need the namespace probably for this too. Search models. Okay, now we're done with that. We just need a new list here, products. Product is new list of product item. Products dot add product okay, now then we create the indexer, new product indexer. Later we can change to use dependency injection for this instead, but for now we can create it like this, indexer index, and then we send products to it, and recreate should be true in this case, and we also need to await it. So now we are done with the refactoring of this function. Then we can go and continue to write the other one. That is this update product index. And for this, we will get the product documents as input here. So we need to convert them to product items. And the easiest way to do that is to do like this. Create a new variable to put it in. So input dot select, not to string, select x. Then we cast first dynamic, and then we cast it to a product item. It looks pretty ugly, but it works. And I've also seen Microsoft samples where they do like this. So let's make it easy for us and do that. Or indexer, new product indexer, index dot indexer, maybe it's a better name. Index products. Wait, okay. Products is not null here. Okay, products can be null in that case. If you ask the compiler, probably it will not be that, but let's check that to get rid of the warning. Products is not null, or maybe we can write is not null also here if we have C#9. Okay, products is not null here. Yeah, Okay. What is the problem? Okay, that is the actual problem. It's not an async method. So let's change that. Async task. Now it works better. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. And we can start it, and hopefully this will work even when we run it locally. I think so. Then we can go to the Cosmos database in the Data Explorer in Cosmos, in the Azure portal. Then we can change some data and see if it will trigger an update. Okay. The function runtime is starting. Let's see, yes, it's ready. So, okay, the listener function, okay. Most collections must exist before. Okay, this is about the lease collection. So we can create lease collection if not exist, true. And I think they use the lease collection to save data about when this is running and data like that. So that helps to trigger the function. So let's create that if it doesn't exist. We can also go into the Azure portal and create it if we want to, but it's easier to do like this. Okay, let's see if it works better now. Wait a few seconds more to see if we get an error. Doesn't seem like that. Okay, then we go to Azure portal. Just make sure that we have the breakpoint. Yes, we have. So in the Azure portal, we navigate to the database, Data Explorer. That is pretty slow to start, but if we wait a few seconds, it will appear here. Yeah, I think it was even slower today than it used to be. So let's go here. We can take the first document. We can change body to a really great rod, just to mix Swedish and English. Then we can go here and press update. And now we will probably hit this function soon. Yes, just a few seconds of delay. Input is one item, and it is our document. So let's step through it to verify that it works and see if we are able to convert it to a product item. Doesn't seem like that. Strange. Products. Okay, maybe the debugger just tricked us. Strange. Now we have a crash. Okay, let's restart it again and see if it works better. Okay, we go back to the Azure portal and make a change again. Just you can change some other documents maybe. You can add a body here too. Another great rod. Update. Wait a few seconds, see if the function is triggered. Yes, it is. Let's step through this a little bit faster this time to see if it works better than products. Okay. Yes, we have products. Just some problem with the debugger, it seems. Maybe if we have added the to list here, maybe it had worked better. Yes. We can set the breakpoint at the bottom here, before the loop of the products. There, on line 64. Let's go there. It will probably take some while because we're fetching the collections. Okay, let's loop through the products. Yes, we have at least one product. We have collection IDs. We have items. And we can call the index client and add this document to the index like this. Okay. Now we have a function that we can trigger to recreate the whole index, and we have one that updates the index if there are changes in the database. So now we can create a search API that we can use from the app, but we can also create an admin UI, for example, that we can use for adding products to the database. And every time we add a new product to the database, it will update the search index. So in the stream next week, I think we will build a function that we can call from the app to search for products. Maybe also do some other functions to get to fetch products, so we can have the complete product information in the app as well. And if we have time, we maybe can start to code a bit in the app. But otherwise, we will work with the API on the next stream as well. And the next stream will be on Thursday at 12 p.m. CET, the same time as today. So I hope you will join me for that coding session as well. And if you have feedback, you're welcome to reach out to me. The easiest way to do that is to go to my Twitter and tweet to me or send me a direct message. I will answer all of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will push all this code to GitHub immediately after the stream. So if you want to take a look at it, you can go to my GitHub and you will find all the code there. So thank you very much and see you on Thursday.